In the deep black space, far from Earth and its shining blue oceans, the United Earth Exploration Fleet sailed quietly. Their mission was clear: to explore the unknown corners of the universe and to find signs of life beyond the stars. Captain Elena Torres stood on the bridge of the flagship Aegis, watching the stars twinkle through the large windows. "Captain," said Lieutenant Vega, the ship's chief scientist, "we have picked up a strange energy reading from a distant system. It is unlike anything we have seen before." Elena's eyes narrowed with interest. "Show me." On the main screen, a large, bright arc of light curved gracefully around a red star. The shape was smooth and perfect, like a giant metal bow bending around the sun. It was enormous, much larger than any natural formation could be. "What is that?" asked Elena quietly. "It appears to be a megastructure," Vega said. "Something built, not natural. The curves are so smooth and perfect, it must be artificial. But we have no idea what it is or who made it." The crew was silent, all eyes fixed on the glowing arc. It was beautiful, mysterious, and a little frightening. The stars beyond seemed to dim as the arc captured their full attention. "Has any civilization claimed this system?" Elena asked. "No records, Captain," Vega answered. "The area is uncharted and unexplored. No known life or colonies near it." Elena smiled slightly. "Then we are the first to see it. Prepare to approach and investigate." The crew moved. Quickly, the Aegis changed course and headed toward the glowing arc. Sensors turned on full power, scanning the structure from every angle. As the ship came closer, the shape became clearer. The arc was not just a ring, but a vast, curved shell, made of shining metal plates that seemed to glow softly. Its surface was smooth, but had delicate lines like a fingerprint, complex and strange. The chief engineer, Ramon, joined Elena on the bridge. "These curves, I've never seen anything like them," he said, rubbing his chin. "Material is unlike anything we have on Earth, strong but light, and it seems to absorb energy from the star. Could it be some kind of power plant?" Elena wondered aloud. "Maybe. Or a weapon, or a message," Ramon said. The idea of a message made Elena shiver. What if this megastructure was a signal, a call from an alien intelligence trying to reach out? As they moved into orbit around the arc, the ship's communications officer, Yuri, reported a sudden burst of signals. "Captain, we are receiving a repeating transmission." "It's faint but clear enough to decode." Elena turned to Yuri. "Put it on the main screen." The bridge filled with a strange sound, a series of tones that formed a pattern.
Then
Words appeared on the screen, written in an unknown language but translated by the ship's AI. "Touch us, if you dare." A hush fell over the room. The message was simple, bold, and challenging. No one spoke for a moment. Elena felt a rush of excitement mixed with caution. "Touch us. What does that mean?" Vega frowned. "It could be a warning or an invitation, but it is clearly meant for us." "Prepare a small exploration team," Elena ordered. "I want to know what happens if we touch these curves." The team was nervous but ready. Elena herself volunteered to lead the first mission. They suited up and moved into the shuttle that would land on the surface of the arc. As the shuttle descended, the glowing curves became even more beautiful. The light seemed to ripple over the surface like liquid metal. Elena reached out a gloved hand and gently touched one of the smooth plates. Suddenly, the surface shimmered and changed color under her fingertips. The metal rippled like water, and soft lights appeared around her. The crew inside the shuttle watched in amazement. "Captain, are you all right?" Yuri asked over the com. "I'm fine," Elena replied, her voice steady but full of wonder. "This thing, it's alive somehow." Back on the Aegis, the crew monitored the changes. The arc's surface opened slowly, revealing hidden compartments filled with strange devices and glowing symbols. "This is more than just a structure," Vega said breathlessly. "It's a puzzle, a test." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. The AI announced, "Warning, arc defense systems activated. All crew, prepare for lockdown." The doors of the shuttle sealed shut, trapping Elena and her team inside the inner chambers of the arc. Elena's heart pounded. We didn't expect this, Ramon said, but we're not alone in here. The inner chamber glowed with a soft blue light revealing shapes and curves that shifted and moved. The Ark was not just metal, but something more complex, something that reacted to their presence. Elena took a deep breath. We need to find a way out and to understand what this thing wants. Her team nodded, ready for the challenge. Outside, the Aegis held its position in orbit, waiting for their return. The message still hung in the air. Touch us, if you dare. Now, the crew knew that touching the magnificent curves of the Ark was only the beginning of a journey that could change humanity forever. Inside the giant megastructure called the Ark, Captain Elena Torres and her small team found themselves trapped. The smooth metal walls shimmered softly, as if alive. The blue light pulsed gently, casting strange shadows. Elena looked around, trying to understand where they were. The chamber was huge, with curved walls stretching far above their heads. The floor was smooth and cold. Strange symbols floated in the air, glowing softly. We need to stay calm, Elena said firmly. Let's see what this place wants from us. Her engineer, Ramon, knelt down and touched the floor. The metal here feels different, like it's waiting for us to do something. Yuri, the communications officer, tried to reach the Aegis with his radio. Captain, the shuttle is locked in this chamber and I can't open the doors from here or outside. Elena frowned. The Ark is not just a building, it's a system, maybe a trap or a test. Suddenly a soft humming filled the chamber. The symbols in the air moved closer to them, forming patterns that looked like a language. Dr. Malik, the linguist, stared in awe. I recognize some of these patterns, he said slowly. They are similar to old human math codes, but with extra parts. It's like a puzzle designed to be solved. Elena stepped forward. Then this might be a test to see if we are smart enough to understand it, or worthy enough, Malik. Added quietly, the team spread out and started to examine the walls and symbols. As they touched different points, the light changed color from blue to green to red each color, showing a new pattern or shape. Ramon found a control panel hidden. Beneath a smooth curve, it was dark, but when he pressed a symbol, the panel lit up and showed a three-dimensional star map. Look at this, he said, pointing. This map shows hundreds of star systems, many unknown to us. Elena stepped closer. Is this a map of the galaxy? Yes, Ramon answered, but some stars are marked with strange symbols. I think these are places where the creators of the Ark had colonies or outposts. Dr. Malik studied the symbols carefully. If this is a message, it's saying, we were here. We reached the stars before you. Elena felt a chill. The Ark was a reminder that humanity was not alone, and that other civilizations had risen and fallen before them. Do you think this structure is alive? Yuri asked nervously. It reacts to us, Elena said. But maybe it's a machine. With advanced AI, we have to be careful. As they explored, the floor beneath them started to shift. The curves of the chamber moved slowly, opening new passages and closing others. The Ark was changing its shape around them. Elena called back to the Aegis. We are inside the structure now. It is alive, or very smart. We are exploring, but it keeps changing. Captain Lee, on the Aegis, responded, Stay safe. We are scanning. For any signs of danger. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The blue glow dimmed and the symbols disappeared. The chamber grew dark except for a single bright light in the center. Elena and her team gathered around it. The light grew into a hologram, a three-dimensional image of a figure. Looked like a tall being made of light and curves, shining and moving gracefully. The figure spoke in a calm, deep voice. Welcome, explorers of the distant world. You have touched the curves of the ancient. Few have dared, many have failed. Elena stepped forward, her voice steady. Who are you? What is this place? The figure smiled gently. I am the guardian of the Ark, keeper of knowledge and memory. This place is a test, a legacy of a civilization that once stretched across the stars. The guardian paused. We created the Ark to protect our knowledge from destruction. Really? Those who prove their wisdom and courage may access it, Elena asked. Why us? Why humans? The Guardian's light pulsed softly, because you are the next in line. You carry the potential to understand the curves, the beauty, and complexity of creation itself. Dr. Malik whispered, "It is like the Ark recognizes humans." Yes. The Guardian said, "The curves you see are not just shapes. They are a language of the universe, a code of life, energy, and thought. To touch them is to accept the challenge." The Guardian continued, "You must solve the puzzles of the Ark, navigate its shifting paths, and prove your spirit. If you succeed, you will inherit the knowledge to shape the future." Suddenly, the chamber trembled. The walls moved again, revealing a long corridor filled with glowing curves that twisted and turned like giant ribbons. "This is your path," the Guardian said. "Follow it. The Ark will test your mind, body, and heart." Elena looked at her team. "We don't have a choice. We must keep going." The team stepped into the corridor. The walls shimmered, and the floor curved beneath their feet. The path was dizzying, but they moved carefully. Rahman examined the surface. "The materials are still changing. It feels alive." Yuri pointed ahead. "Look, the curves form symbols. Maybe they are clues." Dr. Malik studied them closely. "Yes, these are instructions. If we can understand them, we can solve the puzzles ahead." Alina led the way, her eyes sharp. "Stay alert. You don't know what traps might be waiting." As they moved deeper, the Ark seemed to respond to their emotions and thoughts. When fear rose, the path grew darker. When hope returned, the light brightened. Alina realized this was not just a machine, but a challenge to their very spirit. Suddenly, the team reached a wide chamber filled with hundreds of glowing spheres floating. In midair, each sphere showed a star system or a scene from history. "This is incredible," Ramon said. "A holographic archive." The spheres began to move and swirl, creating patterns that told stories, wars, discoveries, the rise and fall of civilizations. Alina watched, fascinated but also worried. "This knowledge is powerful, but dangerous," Yuri added. "If others find this, they might misuse it." The team knew their mission had grown more important. They were guardians now, chosen by the Ark itself. Suddenly, the alarms from the Aegis echoed in their suits. The alien fleet that had been seen approaching was now closer and ready to attack. Elena's heart raced. "We must finish the test quickly. Humanity's future depends on it." The glowing curves around them pulsed. Inviting the explorers onward, Alina took a deep breath. "Wait, touch the curves. I dare you. We will face whatever comes next together." The corridor twisted and turned like a giant ribbon floating in space. Captain Alina Torres led her team deeper into the heart of the Ark. The walls glowed softly with shifting patterns of light that danced like waves. The floor curved beneath, their feet bending and twisting in ways that felt impossible. Alina felt a strange mix of awe and caution. The curves were beautiful, but they were also a puzzle, a living maze, designed to test every part of them. Each step they took changed the shape of the path, and every turn brought new mysteries. "Keep close," Alina said. "We don't know." "What's ahead?" Ramon, the engineer, reached out to touch one of the glowing walls. The surface rippled like liquid metal under his hand. "This place is alive," he said. "It responds to us." Dr. Malik, the linguist, studied the symbols. Flowing across the walls, these patterns are like a language made of light and curves. They change with our movements, almost as if they want us to understand. Yuri, the communications officer, checked their instruments. "Our scanners are useless here, the Arcs. Energy is interfering with all signals. Can't call for help." Alina nodded. "We are on our own." As they walked, the corridor began to narrow and curve more sharply. The path seemed to fold in on itself, creating dizzying loops that tested their balance. Alina steadied herself and looked ahead. At the far end of the corridor, a large door shaped like a perfect arc slowly opened. It revealed a vast chamber filled with more curves, spirals, and glowing lines that stretched into the distance. The team entered carefully. The air was cooler here, and the light was soft but bright enough to see everything clearly. "This must be the center of the Ark," Alina said. Look at the size of this place. The walls and ceiling were made of thousands of overlapping curved plates. Each plate glowed with different colors and moved slightly, as if breathing. In the middle of the chamber, a giant sphere hovered in. The air was covered in intricate curves that shifted and flowed like waves on an ocean. Ramon stepped closer. This is incredible. The sphere looks like a model of a star, but the curves are changing too fast to be natural. Dr. Malik focused on the sphere. I think this is a star map. It's not just our galaxy. It shows many galaxies, clusters, and unknown worlds. Lena looked at the sphere with growing excitement. The Ark might be a key to the universe, an archive of all knowledge. Suddenly, the sphere pulsed and sent out beams of light that hit the walls. The glowing patterns rearranged themselves into a message. Alina stepped forward. Read it, Malik. He studied the message carefully. Says, only those who embrace change will unlock the future. Alina frowned. What does that mean? Ramon looked around. Maybe the Ark wants us to change, to think differently, to accept the impossible. As they watched, the curved plates on the walls began to shift again. New doors opened in the chamber, leading to many paths, each twisting and turning in beautiful but confusing ways. Alina realized this was the next test, to choose the right path. We must decide, she said. This place will challenge us. The team split up to explore different corridors. Lena took the left path with Yuri. Ramon and Malik took the right. The left corridor was narrow and filled with low, curved arches that forced them to crouch. The walls glowed softly, showing images of stars being born, planets forming, and great civilizations rising. Yuri whispered, It's like the Ark is showing us the story of creation. Lena smiled. Maybe it's reminding us of where we come from. The path curved sharply and led them to a room filled with floating spheres, each showing a moment in human history. They saw wars, inventions, great leaders, and moments of courage. Alina felt a deep pride. The Ark recognizes us. It knows what we have done. At the same time, Ramon and Malik walked through their path, which was wider and filled with tall arches shaped like waves. The walls showed images of destruction, planets shattered, stars dying, and empires falling. Malik frowned. This side tells a different story, one of loss and endings. Ramon nodded. Maybe the Ark is teaching us about the balance between creation and destruction. Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifted. Arches bent and twisted, blocking their way. Malik said nervously, It wants us to turn back or find another way. Ramon scanned the walls. Look at these curves, they form a pattern like a code. He reached out and pressed one of the glowing symbols. The arches moved aside, revealing a narrow passage. Follow me, Ramon said, back with Alina and Yuri. They faced their own challenge. The room grew darker, and the glowing images faded. The curves on the walls pulsed like a heartbeat. Alina whispered, The Ark is alive. It tests our spirit. Suddenly, Yuri tripped over a curved beam that appeared. From the floor, he caught himself but looked worried. This place is dangerous, he said. We have to be careful. Alina helped him up. We will. Together. As they moved on, the corridors began to come closer, almost like they were folding the whole structure around itself. The team eventually reunited in a central chamber, tired but determined. Alina looked around. The Ark is more than a machine. It's a challenge to everything we know. Malik nodded, and it is testing more than our minds. It's testing our courage and our ability to adapt. Suddenly the chamber shook. The glowing walls rippled and formed a message. Are you ready to face the final curve? Alina looked at her team, their faces filled with both fear and hope. We have come this far, she said. We must be ready for whatever comes next. The curves around them began to move again, opening a large door that led into darkness. Alina took a deep breath and stepped forward. After all this, can we really handle these magnificent curves? Her team followed closely, ready to face the unknown. The darkness behind the door was thick and silent. Captain Alina Torres stood at the threshold, her hand resting lightly on the smooth, glowing frame. The challenge was clear. This was the final test of the Ark. Her team waited close behind her. Ramon, the engineer, Dr. Malik, the linguist, and Yuri, the communications officer. Their faces showed weariness, but also determination. Every step inside the Ark had pushed them harder than anything they had faced before. Alina took a deep breath. Whatever's ahead, we face it together. They stepped through the door, and the darkness vanished. They found themselves in a vast chamber filled with giant curves of light that floated and twisted in the air. The shapes were beautiful, glowing in soft colors that changed and flowed like waves on the ocean. "This is incredible," Ramon said, eyes wide. "The curves, they're alive." Dr. Malik reached out to one of the glowing strands. Ow! Patterns in these curves are complex, like a language we don't fully understand yet. Alina stepped closer to a large curved surface that shimmered like glass. When she touched it, the surface rippled, revealing stars, equations, and strange symbols. "Look," she said. "This must be the heart of the Ark, the core of its knowledge." Yuri pointed at the symbols. "Some of these look familiar. I think they are related to human math and science." Malik nodded slowly. "Yes, there are echoes of human logic here, but also something more advanced, something beyond our current understanding." Elena's mind raced. Could it be that the creators of the Ark had expected humans to come this far? Was this the reason the Ark had chosen to reveal itself? Suddenly, a voice echoed through the chamber, calm and deep. "Like the guardians before, you have reached the final curve. To unlock the Ark's full power, you must prove that you can think beyond logic alone, that you can create, imagine, and embrace the unknown." Alina glanced at her team. "It's not just about knowledge," she said. "It's about creativity." Ramon frowned. "But how do we prove that?" The curves in the chamber began to pulse rhythmically. Patterns shifted, showing shapes that were not just math or science, but art, swirling colors, flowing forms, and beautiful designs. "It's a test of human spirit," Malik said softly. "The Ark wants us to show it the power of human imagination." Alina stepped back and looked at the glowing curves around them. They reminded her of the way people painted, sculpted, and built great things on Earth, all created from simple ideas, shaped by human hands and minds. "We need to interact with these curves in a new way," Alina said, "not just analyzing them, but creating with them." She touched one of the glowing strands, and it responded by flowing and changing colors. Encouraged, she moved her hand in smooth, slow curves, like painting invisible strokes in the air. The curves followed her movements, twisting and forming shapes, stars, spirals, even patterns that looked like waves. Ramon joined her. "It's art, like a dance," he said. "We create, and the Ark responds." Yuri and Malik also moved their hands, adding new shapes and patterns. The chamber filled with flowing light and color, a living artwork made of glowing curves. The Guardian's voice returned. "You are learning the language of creation. Your human edge is your ability to imagine and create. This is the key to the future." Suddenly the curves around them brightened and connected, forming a giant sphere of light in the center of the chamber. Sphere pulsed with energy, and the walls displayed images, advanced technology, starships, and new worlds. Alina understood. This was the knowledge of the ancient creators, now unlocked for humanity. But the voice continued. "Warning, this power is great, but comes with great responsibility. Use it wisely." Alina looked at her team. "We have been given a gift, knowledge beyond anything we imagined. But we must remember why we were chosen. Not because we are the strongest or the smartest, but because we can imagine and create." Malik smiled. "Our greatest strength." Suddenly alarms sounded throughout the Ark and on the Aegis outside. The alien fleet that had been seen approaching earlier was now ready to attack. Elena's heart pounded. The test is not over. We must protect this knowledge and our future. Ramon accessed the control panel they had discovered earlier. "I'm trying to access the Ark's defense systems. If we can use its technology, we might be able to defend ourselves." The glowing sphere projected weapon systems and shields. Elena's mind raced. "The Ark's technology could change everything," Yuri said. "We need to get back to the Aegis and prepare for battle. The Ark's secrets can't fall into the wrong hands. Alina nodded. Let's move. As they made their way back through the twisting corridors, the Ark seemed to help them, guiding their path with glowing curves that lit the way. Back on the Aegis, the crew was ready. The ship's weapons hummed to life, powered by the Arks. Energy. Alina stood on the bridge, looking out at the approaching alien ships. We are not just humans anymore, she said quietly. We carry the power of the Ark, the strength of imagination and creation. Let's show them what that means. The battle was about to begin. But Alina knew one thing for sure. Humanity's greatest weapon was not just its machines or technology, but its endless creativity and spirit. And that was the human edge. Captain Alina Torres stood on the bridge of the Aegis, her eyes sharp as the alien fleet appeared on the ship's long-range scanners. Hundreds of sleek, dark ships moved like shadows in space, surrounding them from every side. The glow from the Ark's energy still pulsed softly through the ship's systems. It hummed with power, waiting to be unleashed. Alina, Ramon said, his voice steady but urgent. The Ark's defense systems are ready. We can power the shields and weapons, but the energy draw will be high. Alina nodded. We don't have a choice. This is the moment. Yuri was at the communications panel, trying to send a message. The aliens haven't responded to our hails. They are focused on attack. Lena's jaw tightened. Then we fight for the future. Bridge crew prepared. The Ark's technology blended with human engineering, creating new weapons, energy beams shaped like flowing curves, shields that bent light around the ship like a shimmering bubble. The Aegis engines roared to life, glowing blue with the Ark's power ready. All systems, Alina ordered. Fire on my command. The alien fleet closed in. Their ships moved fast and silent, but the Aegis was faster now, glowing with the energy of the Ark. Suddenly, the first alien ships fired. Sharp bolts of energy flew through space, cutting toward the Aegis. Alina gripped the control console. Shields. Up. Activate Ark barriers. Round the Aegis, a dome of glowing light formed, shaped by the curves of the Ark's power. The energy bolts hit the shield and splashed harmlessly. Counterattack, Alina shouted. Ramon aimed the new weapons. Beams of pure energy glowing like flowing ribbons shot out. They curved through space, weaving between enemy ships and hitting their targets with precision. The alien fleet faltered, but quickly regrouped. More ships charged forward, firing in waves. Yuri's voice was tense. Enemy reinforcements approaching from the rear. Lena's eyes darted to the rear scanners. Ramon, can we rotate the shields? Ramon tapped controls. Yes, but it will weaken the front. We need to move fast. Alina made a quick decision. Turn the Aegis. The Ark's energy to boost speed. The ship surged forward, the glowing curves of the Ark lighting the engines. The Aegis spun, firing at enemies on all sides. The battle was fierce. The alien ships were well trained and equipped, but the Ark's technology was new and powerful. In the chaos, Lena thought of the Ark's challenge, the test of imagination and spirit. She reached out and touched the glowing console, imagining new patterns of energy flow. Suddenly, the ship's weapons changed. The energy beams formed, shaped spirals and waves that moved unpredictably, confusing the enemy's defenses. New weapon pattern, Ramon called. It's working. The alien fleet began to retreat, surprised by the Aegis' sudden power, but Alina knew this was only the beginning. More dangers awaited. Back on the Ark, the glowing curves responded to the battle. They pulsed with light, sending energy surges to the Aegis. The ship and the Ark were connected now, one living system. Suddenly, the Guardian's voice echoed in Elena's mind. You have proven your courage and creativity. Now, protect the knowledge and build the future. Alina smiled. We will. The alien fleet launched a desperate attack. Their largest ship moved forward, a massive vessel covered in dark armor. Alina focused. Target the flagship. Use the Ark's energy to overload their systems. Ramon directed the energy beams, shaping them into glowing curves that wrapped around the enemy ship. The flagship shuddered under the attack. Lights flickered on its hull, but the enemy fired a powerful pulse, aiming straight at the Aegis. Alina felt the ship shake. Shields holding, but just barely. Yuri yelled, "We need to finish this now." Lena's mind raced. She reached out, willing the Ark's power to flow through her. The glowing curves on the console surged, sending a wave of energy toward the flagship. The enemy ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, sending debris spinning through space. Remaining alien ships stopped and began to retreat. Alina breathed deeply. "We did it." Ramon smiled tiredly. "The Ark gave us the edge we needed." Dr. Malik looked thoughtful. "The Ark didn't just test us, it joined with us." Alina nodded. "Now we have the knowledge to protect humanity." The Aegis moved away from the battlefield, glowing with the Ark's energy. The crew was exhausted but proud. Alina looked out at the stars. "This is only the beginning. The Ark's curves will guide us to new worlds, new discoveries." Yuri grinned, "and new challenges." Alina smiled. "We are ready." Ships. Systems hummed softly, the curves glowing gently like a heartbeat. The future was bright and full of promise. The Aegis floated quietly in space, its hull still shimmering with the Ark's glowing curves. Captain Alina Torres stood on the bridge, staring out at the stars. The battle was over, but their journey was far from finished. "We have the Arks." "Knowledge now," Ramon said, joining her. "But what do we do with it?" Alina turned to him, her eyes bright. "We build a future where humanity can reach beyond its limits. The Ark showed us that creativity and courage are our greatest strengths." Dr. Malik entered the room, holding a small device glowing with soft light. "I've been studying the Ark's language," he said. "It's more than just patterns. It's a way to communicate with the universe itself." Yuri followed, carrying datapads full of new star charts and technology blueprints. "We've mapped new routes and worlds. The Ark has opened doors we never imagined." Alina smiled. "Then we have work to do." Over the next weeks, the Aegis became a beacon of hope. The crew worked tirelessly, learning from the Ark's technology. Their ship grew stronger, faster, and smarter. They tested new engines powered by flowing curves of energy. Shields bent light around them, making the ship nearly invisible. Weapons fired with the precision of art, shaping energy into beautiful but deadly forms. But the greatest change was in the crew. The Ark had awakened something inside them, a deeper connection to the universe and each other. One evening, Alina gathered the team in the ship's observation deck. Stars stretched endlessly before them, glowing softly. "We faced impossible curves," she said. "Twisting corridors, mysterious tests, and fierce battles." Malik added, "Because we didn't just rely on strength or knowledge. We used imagination and heart." Ramon nodded. "The Ark taught us that the future isn't just about technology. It's about who we are." Yuri smiled. "Humans are not just explorers or warriors. We're creators." Lena looked out at the stars and felt a new hope. "This is just the start. The Ark's curves will guide us to new worlds, new life, and new possibilities." Suddenly, the ship's sensors picked up a faint signal, a pattern of glowing curves. Unlike anything they had seen before, Malik studied it closely. "It's a message from beyond the known universe. The Ark is calling us to continue." Elena's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Then let's answer." The Aegis changed course, following the signal through a corridor of stars that twisted and curved like the Ark itself as they traveled. The crew worked together to unlock more secrets. They found new energy sources, strange life forms, and worlds. Filled with beauty and wonder, the Ark's glowing curves became their guide, a living map that connected all things. One day, they reached a distant planet, covered in swirling oceans and rolling hills shaped like giant waves. Alina stepped onto the surface, feeling the energy of the curves beneath her feet. "This is where it begins," she said softly. "A new chapter for humanity." The team set up a base. Using the Ark's technology to build structures that flowed with the land, they planted seeds of knowledge and creativity, ready to grow. Alina looked at the horizon where the sun dipped behind curved mountains. "We have handled the magnificent curves," she said, "and now we will create a future beyond them." As night fell, the stars above shone brighter than ever. Their light weaving in glowing curves across the sky, the Ark's legacy lived on a promise that humanity's journey was only beginning.